Everything that Microsoft is deciding for the Xbox points to Xbox being dead. So let's talk about it. Xbox started with a splash. First with the original Xbox that was a PC and console format, and then the 360 after the Red Ring of Death being one of the most standard consoles that pretty much everybody owned. And then the Xbox One happened where they were all focused on television and entertainment and kind of ignored gamers. And gamers started to worry that Xbox was abandoning them. Then the Series consoles came out, and again it was focused on gaming and performance, and people were excited for the future of Microsoft. And then they started making decisions that nobody understood. First, they purchased a bunch of developers, making everybody believe that they were going to have first-party exclusives that were going to be super exciting. And instead, they started releasing everything on every platform, even stating that nobody buys a console for exclusives, except for everybody who buys a console for exclusives. Then Microsoft raised their prices and blamed the tariffs. And then they raised them again and blamed the same tariffs. Then people started noticing that Costco was no longer selling Xboxes on their website and nobody could find them in store either. And now people have realized that Sam's Club is having major sales on Xbox Series consoles as well because they're no longer going to sell them because nobody's buying them because there's no console exclusives. And then they announced they were raising the price of the Game Pass, along with not announcing that they were raising the price of all the tiers and reducing the amount of discounts that they were offering for their games if you were a Game Pass member. But the drama doesn't stop there, because after everybody found out about the price hike, people started losing their minds because they couldn't understand the logic of increasing the price of something while reducing why it's good. But an insider came out and said that they have the answer. They didn't want to be identified because they don't want to lose their job, but it turns out that the price hike is because of Call of Duty. You see, Call of Duty is one of the biggest moneymakers in the gaming industry, and Microsoft owns it. But Microsoft didn't rely on sales for their Series consoles. Instead, they shoved it on the Game Pass, and this insider says that that caused them to lose $300 million. Because it turns out Microsoft was hoping that Call of Duty would bring a whole bunch of people onto Game Pass, except there are no exclusives, so no one owns the console, and since no one owns the console, no one wants Game Pass, so it didn't actually have a huge influx of users. And so of course their bad business decision means now you have to pay more, because now they have to raise the price of Game Pass to make up the money that they lost because they don't believe in console exclusives. But when you look at the fact that big box stores are no longer wanting to sell this console, they have no console exclusives, and they keep raising the price over and over again just to try to make as much money as they can, it looks like Xbox is in its death throes, and Microsoft is going to try to squeeze every penny out of this before they finally give up making hardware and go the way of Sega and just make software. What do you think? Is this the end of Xbox? Let me know.